Hi, so Charlie giving you Friday's live trading, and I hope you're very well. It's non-farm payroll day today, so it's only 10 to 8 in the morning at the moment as I'm starting this, and we'll see what happens. We're looking around for a trade. The market's been a bit choppy overnight, so I'm not really seeing much just yet. But we'll see what happens here this morning, and hopefully I can get something off early. If I can't, it's going to be a bit of a tough one today because we've got non-farm payrolls, but I might have to keep the recording going. I don't want to have to do that because I've got friends coming around at 2, and if I'm still trying to record and they're here, it'll just become a nightmare. So we shall see. I'll press pause for now. Hopefully we can get a trade off this morning. Okay. Okay, just back, and looks like I'm going to be shorting the euro here this morning, and so it's not a huge amount of pips I'll be looking for, but to take out yesterday's lows. Yesterday's lows are down at 29, so I'll be looking at sub 29 level. If I can get an appropriate sort of level up here to start putting some entries in. So I'm just looking for it to come up to the outer bands here on my 5-minute chart. So I don't have all the momentum lined up, I must admit, here this morning, but I have got a smidgen on the 4-hour chart, so I'm basing it on what's going on the 4-hour time frame. So we are very close to those bands. I'm going to put a unit in, and because I'm going to probably go in with the 4 units this morning. So I'll get a unit in here. There we go. Okay, so I've got one in. Just in case I completely miss out here. So I've got one unit in, and I shall get. Now I can get some more in a minute. So okay, 39. That'll do. So our second unit's in at 39. I won't be looking for much more. I'll be putting a stop up at 49, which is just a bit above the or 50, this sort of area here, just before the breakdown. So I'm just going to pop my stops up there and see if this can continue to break down. So I've got two lots in at the moment, and so let's see if I can get. I haven't got the stops in place just yet. I'll get those put in a minute. Don't think it shouldn't be anything too major on volatility. So okay. Okay, let's get a third unit in. So I've got 3 in, and that will do for now. I'm just going to get the stops placed. So I'm just going to put my stops in at 106.50. 106.50. So I'm just doing it off screen here, just because it's sometimes a bit quicker getting it done there. Let's bring it up. So here's the 3 positions. We've got 106.38, 39, and 39 roughly. So I might get a third unit in yet. We shall see. Sorry, a fourth unit in yet. If it comes up a little bit more. So that'll do for the time being. As far as the targets, so we've got this spike low here, down here, and this is down at 29. So I'd want that to get taken out, and we've also got a 4-hour 500 just down at about, well, it says 24.7, so call it 25. So about 25 would be the target. So it's not huge pips as far as in any regards. It's maybe a 1.5 to 1 risk to reward, so it's not anything that great. But I'm pushing it a little bit here this morning to find a trade ahead of non-farm payrolls, and so we'll see if the euro can have this pushed down this morning. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart is certainly allowing for it to come down to that 4-hour 500 and break those lows from yesterday. So we'll see. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back. We see the euro's breaking down a little bit here. Like I said, the spike low was at 29. We're currently at 32 or so on the charts. So when it gets down to 29, we're likely to see some sort of bounce. I want to see that get breached, but I want to see it get breached and come that little bit lower to my 4-hour 500, which is down at 24. So just playing a waiting game to see if it can actually get down there. Okay, so I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back. So the euro's down there. It's on that 29 level now. So it's hit yesterday's lows. So it's literally just hit those. So it's hit some support now. CADT. So I'm just talking to the guys in the room as well. So it's hit that support from. If I put this back to the hourly charts, it has hit that level right there at these lows from yesterday. So I'm looking to see if it can just penetrate through those to take out any stops that might be there. To see if it can penetrate through, but of course you have to expect that there's going to be some sort of bounce. I will be able to start tracking the stop down a little bit now. The stops can probably get moved down to these highs, so I'll probably do that at some point. I'll just double check all the markets, and I think I will track them today because of the non-farm payrolls. And we're out now at quarter to 10 in the morning. So if it just bounces from here and comes all the way up, I'm not going to be wanting to sit in this into non-farm payrolls. So I just have to accept that, okay, it's not going to get there. So let's have a look at the account here. So just as we came down into those lows, it's doing okay with 3 lots. It's not a lot of pips. It was about, when it got to 29, about 10 pips, wasn't it? So it's not a lot, but it needs to get down to 25, which is that 4-hour 500 that I was talking about. So expected that there'll be a bit of a bounce here. What I'm looking for is to see if this can break through. So we're just playing a waiting game. What I will do though is I am going to trail these stops today in light of the news and where we're at from a time perspective. So let's just trail those stops down to above that, so about 42. So the stops 106, and then this is why I do them off screen normally. I can get them done quicker than showing you as I'm doing it. But anyway, 0642. So I've moved the stops down to just above these range highs here on this 5-minute chart. Yes, I'm well aware that if the euro decides to put in a bit of a bounce, then I could easily get stopped out. But I've got to factor in the non-farm payrolls and all of that anyway. If it bounces up, then I would have had to have closed out at some point prior to non-farm payrolls. So we'll just see if price can get down there. So I've got limit orders, as you've probably just seen, at 25, or I've got one that I hadn't put in. So so I have got limit orders down there. So I'll get the last limit order in, 0625. I'll just leave them at that and see if it can get down there, knowing full well we've hit the yesterday's lows. So I'm looking to see if we can penetrate. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back here, and it's now what time? 10 to 11, and as we can see, the euro's coming back up towards my stop, which is up at 42, isn't it? 42, yeah. Which would effectively, stop me out at towards 43. So I've given it just a little bit of room, just in case it wanted to just nick that and then roll over. I was just saying to the guys in the room, this still feels like the overall pressures to the downside on the euro today. But the problem I've got is the non-farm payrolls, and I can't stay in this position ahead of going into the non-farm payrolls. So I will have to close out at some point if it can't break down. It's got down to those lows. It got down, did the absolute double bottom, as you've seen. But I wanted that to be penetrated. Maybe it's not going to. So I have to accept that as well. So, but I've got a sneaking suspicion it's just going to hold now. It might stop me out before anyway. But even if it is going to make a new low now, that it may just hold. So until after non-farm payrolls. So I suspect that's probably what could happen. So anyway, we shall see. So we're 9 minutes 20 into this, and I think that we're in the doldrums as far as time's concerned now, in the mid-morning, and it may just want to come up and take me out now anyway, which would be nice, because at least then I'm out of the trade and it's done. But you'd have seen that the actual trade itself was fine. The setup was fine, like some of these, but they don't always run far enough to your target and then just come back up. So and I can't sit on the trade going into non-farm, so might as well have trailed the stop like I have today. So we'll see. I'll press pause for now. So here we are, just back again, and the euro got up It's rolled again, so we'll see if it's still going to get down there. It's all small stuff. Let's bring up the account just so you can see. Here's the position, still sitting there from this morning, all for the sake of a few pips. Really not a lot going on there today. So and you know, we are now at quarter to 12. So obviously at some point, if this doesn't get to my target prior to 1:30, prior to non-farms, the responsible thing to do is to close out. It doesn't matter if it goes down afterwards. That's then just gambling, especially when you're something like non-farm payrolls, because it can produce slippage. Because if the market did decide to shoot up, then all of a sudden it could shoot past my stop, and I don't get filled until up here. And so I take, it'd probably only still be 8 pips of slippage or whatever. So you could argue, well, does it really matter now? There's an argument there, but you just never know with slippage. So I'd rather not do that, because maybe it's not 8 pips, maybe it's 28 pips or whatever. It happens if the market moves a lot, so, and very, very fast like that on news. So not worth it. So we'll see. We're only 6 pips from target, and just see if it can get down there. Oh, it'd be good if I actually press pause on the recording, wouldn't it? Okay, so just back, and so we're going to move the stops down a bit more now. It's not anything to shout home about, and it could still very easily become a losing trade, this trade, as yet. But I'm going to trail the stops down now and just see if it can go or not. It's midday, and it could still want to turn around and come up again. Yet it could. So we're going to keep trailing this down, because I've got to ensure that I'm out of this at some point. So actually put it in at 39, which would stop me out for just about break even, actually, if I did that. So let's do that, and we'll see if it's only got to go, as you can see, another 4 pips. It's now only got 3 pips to go, so see if it can get there. But it feels it's been very sluggish today, hasn't it? Now, one thing that will happen, okay, I can see some divergences coming in on the 5-minute charts here. Let's just take this off. On the 5-minute charts, if this bar, now we've made a new low from here down to here, we've now made a new low. If it was to close back inside my bands on the 5-minute chart, I would close out, because that could then mean that we've got more of a another push up, which would just take us too close towards non-farm payrolls. So hopefully that doesn't happen, and it can get down to the level. So there we go, 27. It's got a couple of pips more to go. So let's just see if we can show it live as it happens for a change. See if it can hit the target. We've got 25 is the level, and see if it can get there. You know what's going to happen, it won't do it now. And I've literally got about 5 minutes or so. Yeah, 5 minutes, and I've got to go out. And then I'll be back in time for non-farm payrolls. But I want this video wrapped up, and it'll be typical. I tell you what, I'm gonna aggressively trail now. So I'm gonna aggressively trail down to 31. Let's just go into full day trading mode and just get myself in a position where. So if I put in at 30, that'll stop me out at 31. As it's had this little extension here, let's just see if it can follow through. So I'm just gonna try and get myself out of this trade today ahead of non-farm payrolls, but alas, still it's had a little push there, a nice little flurry. My target's down at that 25 area, got very close, but still not quite there. So I'll press pause for now. Right, I'm literally sitting here because I'm desperately wanting to get out of the door. We're right on top of my target. I'm going to have to, we're about a pip away, I'm going to have to start closing out, because I want to get this video done, and I'd rather have it loading up whilst I'm out. So there we go. Let's get some of these out. 26, and the order was at 25s. So a painful, not painful, it's wrong expression, but it's just been very slow this morning, for the right reasons. So there we go. So finally out, And in the end, 310 quid is all right on a trade, but it felt very, very slow there today. Anyway, that's Friday's live trading over and done with. Had to have give it the slack initially, even once it had come down, gave it just a couple of pips above there. This movement up here could have wanted to come out and just take that high out, hence why I left my stop up there, which would effectively be 43. And then once it had come down here, then we could then start to aggressively, and with this bar here, then I could aggressively move the stop down. But we are diverging on the 5 minute chart, and so it was the right thing to just start really bringing that down when we've only got just over an hour to go to non-farm payrolls. Anyway, have a lovely weekend. Back in touch. Well, it's Good Friday next week, so maybe I'll do a live trading video on Thursday. Anyway, see you next week.